Hello. Welcome back to Order Up, a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons food-focused campaign set in Zobeck in the world of Midgard, Kobold Press's original campaign setting. My name is Rudy Bassa, my pronouns are he, him, and I will be your dungeon master for today. I hope you're ready for some food cart fun. Let's go around the circle. Everybody, please introduce yourself and tell me who you're playing and tell me what your favorite herb is. That's what Rudy wants to know tonight. Yeah. Oh, I like that look, Danny. That means you're first. Clean shaven.
My favorite herb or Bernardi's favorite herb?
Your favorite herb.
My favorite.
I want the player herb today.
The player herb. Oh, of course. I should have known. Hey, y'all. My name is Danny. You can find me all over the internet at Danny Plays Games. My pronouns are he, him, and I am playing Bernardi Caps. Also he, him. And my favorite herb, cinnamon. Is cinnamon no, that's a spice. Let's go with rosemary because that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
That's a good one to think of off the top of your head. Inspiration for recognizing cinnamon as a spice. Good job. Let's move along clockwise. Autumn, hi, hello. Who are you? Who are you playing? What's your favorite herb?
Hello, my name is Autumn Graves. You can find me all over the internet at Autumn V. Graves. I am playing Vera Grenshard, the human ranger, forager, occasional bouncer, and apparently poisoner for the restaurant. My favorite herb, I mean, I'm going to be honest, Danny kind of stole mine. I've been on a rosemary kick recently. So, yeah.
That's okay. There's plenty of rosemary to go around. It's a great choice. So
I can go back to cinnamon.
I will accept cinnamon. The question has been expanded into herbs and spices now. Let us go diagonally across my face to Lynn. Hi, hello. How are you? Who are you playing? What is your favorite herb and or spice?
Doing good. I am Lynn, and I am playing Delphina, the restaurant's Dampier server. And we're both here. And oregano is mine.
Good choice. That is both an herb and I guess dried herbs are still technically herbs. But yeah, okay. We don't have to get into the long debate on what constitutes a spice versus an herb. We could, and we'd be here for hours, but we don't have time for that. We're playing a game. Victoria, unfortunately, could not join us today, so instead we have a special guest. Hi there, special guest. Please, could you introduce yourself and tell me about yourself? Don't tell me about your character yet. We're going to introduce them in-game, but I want to know about you.
Well, thank you, Game Master, and thank you, Kobolds in the audience. My name is Grant Hellis. I use they or he pronouns, and I'm here joining the cast by special request because they wanted a ridiculous costume tonight. And while I couldn't offer that, I did have an awful one.
Okay. I don't remember that part of the question asking, but I probably, definitely encouraged. And you have succeeded, my friend.
And you want my herb?
Please, herb, yes.
Coriander,
also known as cilantro. Yes, that is also my answer because it is the king of herbs, in my opinion, unless you have that terrible curse upon you where you think it tastes like soap, in which case I'm sorry, your life will never be lived to the fullest.
When I make it always is a part of the process.
Yes. All right. So last week, you were all tasked with finding a food cart, literally finding the cart in which the food will be served and prepared, because the co-owner of your restaurant, which is called the Cheese Ballroom, absentmindedly forgot to get that part of the food cart. Pretty, integral part of having a food cart is the cart itself, but he asked you to go find one for him. Also, the registration, the kind of red tape form that you need for serving food from a food cart in the city of Zobeck, he needs you to get that too. And you said, no, thank you, red tape. I shoo your bureaucracy. I have no interest in this. I will instead break into town hall and steal it. And steal it you did with some really excellent checks, a natural 20 by Vera, who now the town guard thinks is the sibling of another guard named Marty, who apparently you really, really look like. And you succeeded in getting those things. In addition, you made some new friends. There was a lizard person named Cork who sold you the food cart. The food cart itself has 4 pixies that are kind of tied to it by magic, like that's where they're from. It's magic, and those pixies are called True Do, Boo, and Moo, of course. And you also sabotaged a rival restaurant called the Moon and the Owl, putting them out of business by putting poison in all of their pies during their pie eating competition and making everyone vomit rainbow colors. Fantasy. Okay, so today, let's jump right in. Cleef and Raymundina gather you all in the kitchen. This is morning before the restaurant's opened. Everybody's had their coffee, had their breakfast as prepared last week by Thule. Everyone, if you'll recall, you also have benefits for the day thanks to your cooking, these wonderful cooking mechanics I've come up with. But also standing with them is a Minotaur. And Cleef introduces the Minotaur. Hello, this is Thargard, the Ballista. He has worked on numerous food cart startups and specializes in the accounting and money management during opening days. We've hired him as an acting consultant, and he will be on the cart with all of you. Thargard, if you'd like to say a few words about yourself, we'd love to hear them.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, my goodness.
My friends, my new friends, which I consider us now that we are labor associates. I apologize if that's moving too fast. I just take.
This is a pro-union. We're all family here. We're very pro-union.
The
So
whole family. I hope that you will find me cordial and effective, and accurate and efficient, which are qualities that one would expect out of an accountant, a money manager. I really don't like to think of myself as more of a manager, more of a servant of the silver.
wow.
That's my favorite denomination of coin.
Well, as it happens, that's most of our menu is a silver piece, of
How's
course.
it taste?
Oh, well, funny you should ask. We have our staples, of course, which are the portobello sandwich and fried cheese on a stick in the shape of balls. Of course, we're the cheese ballroom. Wording. And we actually were hoping to get a special today, a brand new special from the 4 of you. So if everyone, last week we asked, or yesterday, we asked that you come up with a recipe that would be served on the food cart for a sweet, sweet bonus. Let's go around, everyone present your food, and then we'll do some checks to see how well you make your food. Cooking checks, possibly. So let's start with Bernardi. What do you have for us today? Please enchant us.
So Bernardi kind of was halfway in the restaurant and halfway out, and he like rolls the cart kind of like halfway into the back area where everybody can see, and he claps twice.
Oh.
And Boo, True, Moo, and Do like pop up with that little whiteboard that they were writing on.
Yes.
And Bernardi just kind of looks up and is like, I present to you Kentucky Fried Chicken of the Woods. And it's just like a really bad drawing of maybe a mushroom, maybe a chicken. It's actually just like a blob shape. And he's like, this is going to be the next masterpiece of the cheese ballroom. And then he just wheels them back out without any regard.
Oh, wow. The confidence. We're all very impressed by that. So let's rewind time or flashback. You have already prepared it. Let's make a cooking check for that. Now, remember, cooking is dex-based. I'm going to give you advantage because it's mushroom-based, which is your key ingredient, your core knowledge ingredient. Great. Cooking is a new skill that I've come up with. There's 2 new skills, cooking and harvesting. You can train yourself in either one of those, depending on what you think Thargard would be good at. But for now, we're just going to do a cooking check from Bernardi. What'd you get?
So Bernardi like walks outside and he like whispers to the pixies like, "Here's our big shot." And he
Yeah, boss.
let's see.
That's what they sound like.
Ooh, a 17.
17. All right. This is a banger right here. This works perfectly. Kentucky Fried Chicken. It comes on a little tiny plate. It's a very much a handheld food. No silverware required. They look like little chicken nuggets or like little maybe I don't know. What are they in the shape of? Have you?
Yeah, so chickens of the woods kind of look like a leaf, look like almost like a footprint, like a bear footprint, maybe.
Okay.
So it's really flat, but fried to perfection, and has like a little drizzle of a special sauce on top.
Oh, special sauce.
Special sauce
Nice.
from the magical land of Kentucky.
Sure. Foreign land. Yeah. Everybody. Oh, wow. Everybody's very impressed. Great roll. 17. It tastes delicious. It tastes like we've talked about how mushrooms, they can be meaty, they can be filling. This is it. This is a good one. This is a winner. Everyone politely claps. Everyone clap. Thank you. Okay, let's continue on. This is definitely a front runner out the gate. Well done, Bernardi. Vera, what have you prepared for us this evening?
So Vera pulls out from one of their many pockets.
Classic Ranger.
Classic. It looks like it's wrapped in like oiled paper, and they fold it back, and it is it looks like a dried leaf of some sort that is folded into a cone and is filled with like wild rice and other foraged things. It's basically forest sushi.
Forest sushi? Wow.
So there's like berries and some sort of dried cured meat inside of it.
Oh my goodness. This is an energy. You're going to be hiking through the woods when you have some forest sushi with you.
Yes. And she just holds it up. It's like, well, to be honest, I don't have a name for it. This is just kind of what I eat this is just kind of what I eat. But it's flavorful. There's a sauce to go with it, and she pulls out like some dark fermented.
Another special sauce. We love special sauces here. Yes. Great. And, so go ahead and make a cooking check or a harvesting check. I will let you use either because this isn't necessarily something cooked, I would say. And I'm going to give you advantage again, because this is forest stuff, and you're a ranger. Forest.
Amazing. So I am trained in harvesting, so I'm going to use that.
Nice.
So it'll be 15 plus 5, so dirty 20.
All right. Yeah. This is also amazing. Once again, everyone, Bernardi, you, as a lover of the earth, can respect what this is. Actually, I don't know if Delphine is eating any of these.
She has enough food to last for a while from last time.
Yeah. So
she'll take it on everyone.
Maybe you have a good smell. Your sense of smell is even more acute, I guess, as a Dampier. So it smells, awful, disgusting, like food that would make you sick, but it smells. So once again, excellent. Golf claps all around. Everyone, golf claps. Very nice. Our special guest, Thargard. We sent you in our invitation last night also a request for a recipe, a handheld recipe, a food cart recipe. What do you have for us today?
So I camouflaged myself and climbed up the world tree branches.
Inspiration for Grant.
Thank you. I'm
Cow puns will always get you inspiration in my games.
And I plucked some eggs right from under the bird buttocks of some of Wotan's children, and I made some doom croaker omelets, and I intend to amaze with them. That's another Minotaur pun. But
amaze, sir, you're only allowed to get one inspiration in the game of Dungeons and Dragons, and that's the only thing holding you back from more. All right. Go ahead and make me a cooking check. So this is a dex-based skill because this is Shit.
I think wisdom was the
Wisdom, yes, it's wisdom because the cooking is improv, man, and you got to have your street smarts. Okay, it's wisdom based.
I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5. Okay.
Although they taste like garbage.
No. You know, when you try something new,
Should have made the cheese myself.
well, that's a long process. You should have gotten eggs from our August rooster out back, and a bird sticks its head in the window, like a very tall bird that is gorgeous. It's like multiple colors, and it's got tons of feathers, and it looks at you with a startling amount of intelligence, we'll say, and then it takes its head back out very quickly. But great first attempt. Golf claps, please. Golf claps all around. Thank you, Tharger. This isn't what we hired you for, so this was not. You did a great job. Great job.
I'll put it in my report, but thank you.
No. This won't impact your report whatsoever. And finally, Delphina, what did you make? There's a bit of a nervousness to this one. Does it have blood in it? No, we talked about that already.
He knows, yes. No, blood is not a menu item.
It can be used in small amounts, but
just not.
Bowl of blood is not usually what we're trying to serve here.
Yeah, so she excitedly brings out like a platter, and she's like, "Yes, as we know, the our target is going to be for on the go and lunch. So I figured I can put 2 courses together. And I know sweet and savory is a theme that has been popular. So yes. She takes out like I took the tomato and cheese tart. I rolled it up into a cone. And then she takes out like a ladle and just pours like chocolate syrup into it.
Whoa.
And then just takes a thing of ice cream, just like dumps it. Like the pouring of syrup is like way too long for like, it's like this thing is too much. And then just like, see? 2 courses in one.
2 courses in one. Whoa. And a whole meal's like a whole 3 days worth of calories in one.
There is so much chocolate and ice cream in this thing.
Whoa, this is rich. This is extravagant. Great. Go ahead and make me. You cooked the tart, right? Yeah. So I'll say, go ahead and make me a cooking check.
Can this be with not advantage? Because this is an abomination. What I've created.
Yes, I agree. It should not be with advantage.
Oh, God's help you if this is a high roll. Nope, that's good. That's about right. 4.
What'd you roll?
4.
4. Okay, yeah. So, So I would say that Cleef goes to take a lick of it and kind of, tips it towards him, and chocolate sauce just spills all over him, and he's covered in chocolate sauce and ice cream. It's very messy. And he goes,
worse.
"Oh, yeah, it's good."
It's worse because I've had pizza cones and they just like all the grease stays inside.
Yeah,
so it's a mix of like all that chocolate grease.
Yeah, I would say that probably maybe Raymondina knows like some cleanup magic, and she like does a quick hand swipe over all the mess, and there's still like tons of mess on him, and she's just like trying to swipe it off with magic, and it is not very effective. He's covered in chocolate sauce and ice cream and grease, and it is not good effort. I love the ingenuity of combining 2 courses into one, salty and sweet. Maybe a little restraint on the sweet in the future, but definitely something that we can consider for the menu going
People seem
forward.
to like it during dessert. They like a lot of chocolate, right? That's how that
they
works.
love chocolate. Don't we have a death by chocolate dessert that we established? I think so. Remember, the Kobold Queen and King loved it. It was so much chocolate. So definitely something we'll think about in the future. I think, and he turns to Raymondina, we have 2 winners today, to be honest. I loved Forest Sushi, and I loved Kentucky Fried Chicken of the Woods Mushroom. I think we can make both of these work. So we've got 2 new specials added to the menu. Hooray! Great job. I don't know if I gave you inspiration yet, Autumn, but you have it. Vera, sorry. You have a woodsy name. Sorry. Yes. Cool. So let's talk about what we're doing today. And let's sidebar that first to talk about the food cart pixies we have right now. Bernardi, you were so kind and welcoming to them that it has turned into they've kind of imprinted upon you, like a baby goose or baby duck and its mother, or any animal that it first sees. So let's break down a little bit about each of these. You've gotten to know them over the course of the night. They've been happy to give you a tour of the food cart, which wasn't, it was so cute that they even tried to give you a tour of the food cart. It's a food cart. There's not a lot to see, but they've all kind of talked about what they're great at. You know what I mean? True is great at kind of that short order cookery, great on the grill, great, like can cook a mean burger, knows the food cart really well. They all knew the food cart really well, but True really knows like the hot spots, the food cooking, like the hot spots of a grill, really in-depth knowledge of that. Do is kind of the talker of the group. He's got a lot of charisma. He's a fast talker. He's like, I can sell ice to an Eskimo, blah, 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 or whatever. He's got that. There's no Eskimos in this world, but it's that same kind of like fast talking car salesman-y, but in a good way. Like you trust him in a way. Like you don't feel like he's trying to rip you off. He's just trying to get you fed. Boo seems to be good, like has kind of like the cashier mentality. Like he's would be a great assistant accountant cashier to someone else who might currently be in the room. But you definitely think they can be good at, they're also really good at giving recommendations, like menu recommendations, which is interesting. There seems to be some sort of magical, like when a customer will come up and they'll kind of know, okay, this person would like the forage sushi, or this person would like this. So if they ask me, I'm primed and ready to tell them what they'd like best. And finally, there's Moo. So Moo doesn't really seem to be good at anything, but Moo wants to help so much. And it's not only that he's not particularly good at things, but he kind of like messes things up and distracts the other pixies when they're doing their work. And they all like, obviously they have a huge, incredibly tight bond. They all love each other a lot. The rest of them seem oblivious to the fact that Moo is making things worse. They're like, oh yeah, I'll talk to Moo now instead of doing work. It's bad, but you love them all equally, I think. So it's going to be, you want to make sure they all have important jobs. Okay, so that's about our pixie friends. Everyone knows, and the rest of you have caught on to this as well. Okay, so today, Cleef steps forward. We have had Tiddlywinks, our halfling busboy, has scouted out 3 possible locations for our food cart. Okay. First, he has a cousin who works at an antique shop in Crown Square, which is like the fancy it's like the Times Square equivalent in Zobeck. It's going to be packed with like really high quality vendors. It would be very exciting to be there. There's a huge potential for a lot of business, but it is going to be crowded and you are going to be worked to the bone serving all these people. So it's going to be rough. This is our first day, so it would be a huge risk, but also huge reward potential. Second is in the Vineyard District, which is a kind of like lesser market district. It will have a pretty decent amount of people milling about, we would say. You'll have to do something to stand out from the competition. There will probably be multiple food carts set up there, but there's a good potential. We probably won't have to do too much marketing to the people. Like there's enough foot traffic that you think you probably will get regular customers. Now, the last location is in the Merchant District, where our brick and mortar restaurant is. So we have a good relationship with the 6 Lantern Playhouse down the road, and they'd offered to put on like small skits and performances in front of the theater to kind of hopefully draw a crowd. And then you can set up your food cart and it'll be like hand in hand. They'll give out ticket vouchers and hopefully sell tickets. So The theater has fallen on some hard times as of late. Theater is out in Zobeck. Juggling is in, and they don't have any jugglers. Juggling is the main entertainment source in all of the city. Everyone loves juggling. So no one's really excited necessarily about theater and drama, and especially now during the spring trade fair, it's kind of definitely an offshoot. So we don't know how many people will be in the area. The actors themselves, like that might be appealing. That might bring in some crowds, but you're probably going to have to do a little bit more work finding customers. So, of those 3 locations, which do you all like the best?
Well, I think it's worth it to get outside of our kind of, neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends if we want to gamble with the, high society crowd, or if we want to, I don't know, wine and food seems to go together. So we might have some luck in the Vineyards District with the merchants.
Yeah, it might be some good, as tough it's going to be. It might be good to open up clientele in the Crown District, someplace we haven't been.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that if everyone, because it's going to be busy and it's going to be hectic in there.
Definitely going to be busy. Okay. Bernardi, any particular thoughts or input, or?
No, Bernardi's outside giving the pixies a pep talk.
Oh.
Doesn't matter.
Let's hear that pep talk if we could.
Yeah. So he's looking at all the pixies and he kind of sits them down in a row. And again, this is the most emotion Bernardi's has ever shown to anything that's not a mushroom. And he looks at True. He's like, I know you're a great cook. This is your time to shine. I'm going to make you the head chef of this cart. And then he like druid casts like a little flower and it goes like right onto True's little whatever they're wearing.
Like lapel. Oh my goodness. True's like showing off the flower to the other ones. I have a flower, I have a flower.
And then he looks at Dew and he's like, Dew, I know you can talk, you can sell, you're very charismatic. You're going to be the chief marketing officer. And then does another druid craft, another flower pops onto Dew.
I also have a flower. My flower's better. Ha 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 ha.
Looks at Boo's like, Boo, you're great with money. I don't know that Thargard fella. So I want you to, be ahead of the money. So you're going to be our chief financial officer. Druid crafts a little flower.
Are these flowers different colors too?
Yeah.
Mine's green because it's money. Green is money.
And then he looks at Moo and he goes, Moo, you're doing your best. And then just like druid crafts like a rock, and then the rock just sits in front of Moo.
Rock for me? My rock? I have a rock! And he waves the rock around. Ha ha, rock breaks flowers! And he starts trying to hit the other ones' flowers on their lapels.
And Bernardi's just like looking at them with the most adoration. It's like, we're gonna do so good.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, it's turned into a scuffle. They're all like pushing each other, and the rock is just up and down. You just see the rock doing its work. Yeah, you look onto them proudly.
Bernardi,
Right.
How are they doing? Are they?
Bernardi sticks his head in. They're great.
The August Rooster raises one eyebrow in the corner.
Druid crafts a little flower to go on the August.
August Rooster starts strutting around now. It has a flower too. Everybody loves Bernardi's flowers. That's like, if anyone's familiar with the Great British Bake Off, that's like a handshake from Paul Hollywood, a flower from Bernardi. It's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Let's jump then to the Crown Square. Oh, it's the afternoon, prime eating time. And you've been able to get your spot in front of this antique store, which is normally, as you know, it's like one of those like legacy stores that like it's been in Zobeck for hundreds of years, so it gets like a huge tax break, and the city even gives it money to stay open. But even today, the antique store is packed with lots of people from all over the continent. It is exciting times, and a crowd kind of like starts to form around the cart even as you begin setting up. it's that popular and that crowded. As you do set up, a gnome comes over to you, and he introduces himself, and he says, "Why, hello there. My name is Florb. That's my cart over there." And he points to another food cart across the street that says, "We fry, you buy." And he goes, "I've been in this spot for the last 15 years. Trust me. Just me and my assistant, and the source of all of our magical success, Auntie B." And you see like a elderly gnome lady kind of wave. She's got a very like grandma vibe coming off her. It says, "If you're good to this spot and you're willing to work with all the people, it'll be good to you. And to be truthful, I don't think we're going to have much competition. We kind of specialize in one thing over there, frying. Although we do have two new specials this year. And he looks at the whiteboard where Dew is writing the names of the special. And we've got a deep fried mushroom and a collection of berries, dried meats, and rice in a cone that we're calling nature sushi." Oh. And then he puts a scowl on you. Says, "May the best cart wins." And he walks off back to "We fry, you buy."
Vera just kind of looks at Bernardi and shrugs in a very like, I think we can mop the floor with this guy kind of way.
Yeah, and then Bernardi just kind of looks to the side. It's like, just in case, do you still have that Epicac poison stuff?
I have, honestly, I bought way too much. So yeah, I still have a lot.
And Bernardi's like, "I trust in these guys," points to the pixies, but you never know.
Speaking of,
we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. What is everyone doing? So we have the pixies who are kind of doing like the busy, like day-to-day, not day-to-day, but like the busy work, so to speak, but they still may need some supervision. What is everyone doing with the food cart? What do you think your job is going to be? We'll start with Thargard. I think we know what you're going to be doing, right?
Well, yeah, but while I'm not processing payment,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be carnival barking, trying to entice a crowd, complimenting everyone's luxurious nails, eye makeup, and hair of the day, maybe their outfits.
You know how to win this crowd over. Very good. Make me a persuasion check or any other check that you think might be relevant, and you can have advantage because that's exactly what they want to hear. They want compliments on their fancy pants and all their other like nice clothing, and they're dressing up to the nines today.
Of all the fancy pants, yours are the fanciest.
Oh my goodness, what a
18
compliment.
with advantage. Thank
100% that succeeds. Yeah, your carnival barking brings in people, definitely. It brings in a crowd. The compliments, you mentioned that you're working. Is everyone just going to call, do you want to come up with a special name for the food cart, or are we just the cheese ballroom on wheels, or whatever?
Great logo.
Great logo. Yes.
Cheese wheel.
Just a giant. Oh, the cheese wheel.
I like the cheese wheel.
Cheese
Cheese
wheel.
wheels.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. That's perfect. I don't know if you have inspiration yet, Autumn, but you just got it. Great. So that's great. Good job. Thargard showing that he is a Minotaur of many talents. What do you think you're doing, Lynn?
Delphine, I think, is while Thargard is taking care of the paint. I think she's mostly taking care of like making sure everything goes to each person. So there's a little bit of lag time between.
So yeah, I mean, of course, classic food cart kind of style. You place your order, you get a ticket or whatever, and then you wait for your food to be made. And yes, so
I think she's also going to be kind of like selling the food as she's giving it, like just kind of like, oh look, you don't even have to go out to the forest to get stuff this fresh. And to go, look at this. Count.
Sure. Why don't you give me, let's see, I want to check that kind of, this probably be some sort of intelligence check that, or I'll even give you wisdom, your server skill, something that will show that you have great sense of memory and like faces to tickets kind of thing. What do you think would work for that? We can just do a straight wisdom check if you want, or intelligence check, or if you can make one of the skills work for you. I will accept this as well. Let me find Tuli so I can look at her skill sheet and not mess anybody else up.
I'll say maybe
maybe I'll give you a perception, perhaps?
Okay, yeah, that might be just like face to order
exactly.
orders, and then number 12 to that person right there.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Perception, let's do it.
13. Oh, 13 is going to do it. 13 is definitely enough. I think, yeah, it is a big crowd, but you are particularly skilled at this kind of thing. So everybody gets their order promptly and without too much of a wait. I mean, those of you who've gone to food trucks, nothing's more disappointing than having to wait for a long time, except maybe if someone else gets your food by accident. Oh my goodness. Then you have to wait all over again. Oof. So that is not an issue with the cheese wheel. Everybody gets their food promptly, and it's their food. Very important.
And Delphina is away from actually preparing the food, so everybody wins.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so Autumn, what is Vera doing for the food cart? What position do you take up?
So Vera has kind of set up to the side. They're managing a little pantry of everything that they brought in from the forest.
Okay.
They brought copious amounts. There's just sacks of like berries and cured meats and dried leaves and other things, and potentially Bernardi's mushrooms that are all kind of just in this area. And she's alternating between like restocking the cart depending on what everybody inside needs or out back needs, and like hawking wares for extra cash on the side.
Yeah, this could be some of your personal stock, or maybe there was a surplus from the restaurant. Maybe someone ordered too much of flour, so you have extra flour that you can be selling, or whatever. I think it's your stuff. So cool. You can give me a persuasion check or another charisma, or if you can think of something else that you think is relevant.
Works for me.
Okay. 23. You not only sell, you are able to capitalize on the fact that these are fancy pants rich folk, and you upcharge them a little bit, and nobody seems any the wiser. So you go through a lot of the stock, all of the excess surplus stuff from the restaurant, and a lot of your own personal goods that Cleef and Raymunzini said that you could absolutely sell to them, to the crowds. You make a nice little pretty penny, the amount of which we will determine later. And
Vera splits the cash amongst the regular staff and gives like a few gold pieces to each of the pixies as well.
Oh my goodness. They are thrilled to have payment for what they see as like kind of their job in life. Like they are so happy to just be working the food cart to actually get payment in addition for it. You see little pixie minds explode one after another. They are thrilled to be able to get money for their life's calling. Wow, so kind, Vera. All right, Bernardi, what are you doing on the food cart, and where did you tell Moo to go again? You gave him the rock.
You just gave him a rock and just said you're doing your best. Maybe he's trying to juggle the rock. I don't know.
Oh yeah, juggling's big. Juggling's big.
But I think Bernardi, right when they got there, he casted like plant growth, and once he saw Vera selling things, I think he started trying to grow more on the spot. That way we could say we're growing our ingredients fresh, but then also just sprouting flowers and like vines and big foliage around our food cart just to give us a little more pizzazz.
Yeah, it creates a really, really neat environment in the middle of this kind of industrial part of the city that is kind of like icky and touristy in a lot of ways. This greenery really stands out, and it creates a very fun atmosphere around the food cart that makes it feel more homey, more like an actual restaurant instead of just a plain food cart. And that's really, really appealing. Cool. So you can make me so I'm going to say you definitely get all that going. But if you would like, you could also make me your casting modifier as a druid is or your casting is it wisdom?
Yes, it's wisdom.
Yes. Okay, cool. Make me like a wisdom check with your. Is that a spell that you cast, or is that just a thing that happens?
Yeah, it's a spell.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and cast that spell. Plant growth? Yes.
Yep.
Oh, this is spell save DC. Okay, so the environment attempts to save itself from beautiful greenery. And it rolls a natural 20. Okay, so maybe the restaurant, the food cart still looks great, but maybe you have some difficulty growing some of those plants and restocking quite as quickly as you wanted to. That it still grows, but you, with your keen eye for what is good and what is bad produce, maybe go like, this is not worthy of sale. This is not worthy of the Bernardi name. Meanwhile, Moo has taken his rock and has began smacking it against the side of the food cart, making a loud clanging noise, and what he thinks will attract more people, but is in fact very off-putting and kind of scary to a lot of people. So he's like, food, 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 food. He's also doing that in like a droning, siren-y kind of way that, again, not good on the ears, not a fun sound to hear.
Bernardi, is there something up with what's Moo doing?
He's doing his best. He's doing good, right?
I think he's starting a scene here. I don't think people.
Bernardi will defend Moo for for what he's doing. So Bernardi's just like, I think he's doing a great job. Is there something that you think
you can see people are starting to turn away because of the siren-like
I think
noises.
people think he's attacking the food cart.
Well, he kind of is, but I see your point. And Bernardi like walks over and like puts his hand out and then just puts Moo back on the cart. And it's like, hey, buddy, instead of yelling and hitting things, how about you throw this in the air and tell us about the amazing food here?
Oh, yes, I will juggle. And he starts throwing the rock up into the air and catching it rather adeptly. He's quite dexterous. And it looks very silly, but in like a cute, like attractive way, not in a like a weird off-putting way. This is a much better improvement over the previous food chant and smashing the rock against the side of the cart. So great job, Bernardi. You have solved my first Moo puzzle, of which there may be more. Well, okay, so while that is happening, you hear a familiar sound, a familiar musical instrument. Da-ling, da-ling, da-ling. Well, who do you see but Arthuriel the lute player with his magical lute come strolling down. Da-loom, 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 da-loom. What class are you again, Thargard? Or Minotaur
I'm a
friend?
fighter.
You're a fighter. Okay. He comes playing down, and he's just kind of strumming, not really making a song, but he does come over to you and he says, to you, the money man. I guess you don't know him. Maybe you've heard of him, Arthurio the lute player. Chaos seems to follow him. And maybe someone else pulls you aside and informs you that the lute itself seems to be sentient and seems to love pranks. And so he comes over and he's like, why, hello there, good sir. I was wondering if you could use my services on this fine afternoon.
No, but would you like some forest sushi?
Forest sushi? Yes, I would. Shall I compose a song about forest sushi?
That would be delightful. We'll
I
sing
like
in
your-
rounds. I'll start 4 notes late.
Oh, I like your demeanor, sir. The song shall be sang. And then you hear a voice in your head. Let's go with Bernardi, magic user. Hey, anyone need messing with today? You guys are my favorite in the city.
So Bernardi would kind of look around and like immediately think one of the pixies is talking to him. It's just like, and then
It
he
does sound
sees-
very pixie-like, this voice that I've chosen. I have only myself to blame.
and then he looks at the loot, and then he runs over to Delphina and is like, "Is that? Do we have to do anything with that guy? I dealt with.
I don't. Why does he keep following us?
I dealt with Boo. You have to deal with this guy. But that loot is, I think, talking in my head, and
Yes, it's 100% doing that. It is.
Okay.
I think maybe evil. I think yes.
okay,
I think maybe we just point him in a direction that is not here, and just someone else's problem.
I think Thargar just told him to make a song about our food cart.
Oh,
Forest
no.
sushi!
Forest sushi.
Forest sushi!
This
And
is
he comes
gonna-
over to you.
Forest sushi.
Oh, a duet! Yes, it comes over to you, Vera, and he starts like
Gross.
getting in the ingredients and like really getting in there and looking at everything closely. And he's like breathing loudly and trying to sing, and his mouth is close to the food.
All right, I'm gonna put hooves on him if I have him. Hey.
Hey, oh, I'm looking for
Oh, oh, oh,
inspiration. I'm looking for inspiration. I'm an artist.
Vera
Well-
just kind of steps up and is like, hand casually resting on her bow, just like leaning on it, and is like,
He does a
"You
180.
know."
Yes, Forest sushi, best viewed and gazed upon from a distance. I think maybe over here I have a very good viewing of what it is.
I'll tell you what. How about you go gaze on there's another version of it if you're looking for some more inspiration. There's a cart across there. They fry things. How about you go stare at theirs and sing about theirs instead? I think they could use the help.
A legendary cart.
Legendary card. So he suddenly, his like happy, upbeat, kind of dumb dog demeanor changes, and his face like freezes, and you hear in your head, Vera, "I'm not going anywhere near that cart." And then he turns back into normal, happy-go-lucky dummy, and is like, "Oh, sing about forest sushi in the center of the square." And he walks off as though he hadn't heard a single word you just suggested.
Vera kind of looks at Thargard and is like, did that seem odd to you?
I thought it seemed a little romantic.
The first time we saw him play his lute, he almost started a war amongst the kobolds. The second time, there was havoc. That was yesterday.
He's what we call a bringer of chaos. A
Yeah, that's-
ne'er-do-well.
Yeah, bringer of chaos is normally my job, and I don't go to that length.
So what you're saying is we should see him become unemployed. There's no vacancies in that position of the bringer of chaos.
Well, I think that's easier said than done. Delphina and Bernardi know a bit more about him and the loot. Apparently the loot's magical. I don't know. I just find things and sometimes they taste good. It's really not my department.
Well,
Delphina comes by and it's like, he's back again. You got rid of him, right?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I tried to, right? I was
Mhm.
going to send him over to, that frying cart and maybe have him cause a little chaos. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then I heard a voice in my head, which I'm assuming was the loot, and he was very, very salty with me about, and very adamant that he was, I quote, never going near that cart again.
Give me an insight check, Vera, to see that tone of voice. It didn't seem mad at you or salty or angry. There was something else there. And we'll see.
23.
Okay, it was scared. It
Okay.
was frightened to go. The thought of going over there seemed scary to this magical loot.
Apparently he was actually more, okay, maybe not salty isn't the right word. He was a little bit salty with me, I think, for asking, but more so, I think he was scared of whatever's over there.
What they? You know what? He's come by so many times that we can figure out why he's mad, and we can use that.
Well, I mean, he seemed to like us. Nothing horrible has happened yet, but I'm kind of
'Cause
curious what would scare the magic loot so
Yeah.
much over at those two gnomes.
Also, the gnomes seemed unhappy with our menu.
Well, they somehow came up with the exact same things we did, which is very odd. I've never
It's
seen them around the
curious.
forest.
And Bernardi waddles over and it's like, when that guy came over earlier, the loot actually talked to me in my head, and they seemed kind of excited for pranking. So what if we team up with the loot? Is that a bad idea?
Well, I mean, if we're trying to prank that cart, I don't think it's going to do it. It's like terrified, like scared stiff of it.
I'm just worried that cart is the kind of cart that gets rid of new carts that they don't have to worry about it.
That definitely seems like a vibe, doesn't it?
You can
Maybe-
see across the way, the prices or whatever. We don't have to worry about prices, but they have crossed out their previous price and now have undercut you by like 10 bronze pieces, what you're selling your food for.
And look what they're doing. They're undercutting.
I think we need more information. I've had, I've already gone so far down the casual illegality train this week. Why not continue it?
We can do some
Reconnaissance. Well,
I think Bernardi would want to tag along with Vera to see what's going on. So he looks over at Delphine and is like, "You think you can handle this while me and Vera go see what's going on?"
No, there should be no problem. This is nothing worse than prime time at dinner. So
I'd be willing to assist if you need me to don a disguise.
Whoa. Who is that?
Skyboy
The
Vera.
pixie that you're standing next to, Boo, sees you switch into this new disguise, and immediately it's like, "Who are you? Stay away from the money! What are you doing? You're not allowed to be back here!"
Good job. That was the test, Boo.
Oh
That
my
was
goodness.
the test.
Oh my
You're
goodness.
promoted. Now I'm going to validate your position of CFO of the food cart. Your CFO pro temp, now it's official.
well, Thargard isn't known to be associated with the cheese ballroom, so it might be good to bring him along as well.
Ooh.
Assuming that Delphina, you feel confident just staying here. I know you can handle yourself, and hopefully
I mean,
the pixies.
the pixies are cooking. I can keep an eye on. I keep an eye on Cleef, so they should be no different.
Yeah. I mean, if they give you trouble, just give them gold. They seem to like that.
Or
Yeah.
flowers, right?
Flowers. They like gifts. Gifts in
Gifts.
general.
Gifts.
Yeah.
All right.
They definitely seem to be working harder after receiving gold pieces.
Right.
That just gives them a good motivation to do the best they can.
I think I can take care of that. I have enough things, little shiny bits like that they can probably be entertained by.
Great. Okay. So
Right.
yeah, so how do the three of you approach the other food cart? Confidently, quietly? There's it's a very busy kind of section of town. You could easily just blend into the crowd if you want, or you could be, oh man, okay. This was
Vera's going to try to blend in.
Yeah.
As they used to be or are technically kind of still a member of the Leatherworking Guild. They just kind of pull a cloak over their armor and try to look like a guild member instead of I wanted to say smuggler, procurer of goods.
definitely with your Zobeck scout background as well. I feel like this is something you can easily do. Available at koboldpress.com. And so, yeah, you blend in with the crowd. No, now what is Bernardi? Bernardi
Looks up at Thargard and it's like, "Nice hat. Good idea." And he druid crafts some shades and puts on as well. And it's like, nice.
It is a sunny day out, so the shades, yeah, good. Good.
Also, do we still have our hair color switching power from eating
No, I
the
think
Oyster
that's
eggs?
gone. The hair color switching is gone. You have your temp HP now.
That's fine.
I
Vera
think you
will
have
pull up the hood
advantage
of her
on
cloak.
perception checks using smell or taste. So you've got that
Neat.
going as well. Great. So you all look very nonchalant and kind of unrecognizable as you walk over to the cart.
Let's just play it cool.
Bernardi reaches his hand up and tries to grab Thargard's hand.
Yeah, I canonically I have hands, but they're going to be hooves for the purpose of this. So hoof and hand.
Hoof and
Go.
hand.
Yes.
We're here
Very
at Zobeck on a honeymoon. Thought we'd take the delights of the city. Heard this was a good cart.
You're absolutely correct, sir. We have got some of the best fried food in all of the city, because when you're going around during the spring trade fair, you don't want to have to worry about utensils. What can I do for you? May I recommend one of our 2 specials? Nature sushi, the best sushi brought from nature possible, or Kentucky fried
Chicken of the woods?
What? No, not
Chicken
chicken
of-
of the woods, another
Chicken of
mushroom
course.
that I definitely
Lobster?
know about. Yeah, Kentucky fried lobster mushroom. That famous mushroom that's native to Kentucky here in.
What say
Oh,
you,
the lobster
my
mushroom is a
dearest?
thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Yeah. You get an advantage if you don't have it already, Autumn, because lobster mushroom is a thing. Good job. Good mushroom knowledge.
I got you.
Would you prefer either of these?
Bernardi tries to like mimic Thargard's voice, and it's like, yeah, I want to know how you came up with these specials because they seem very unique.
Yes, well, that would be all from my wonderful wife. And he, who colloquially goes by Auntie B, even though she's my wife and I have no nephews or nieces. Everybody around town knows her. And he says that, and there's like a bunch of nods, like over-exaggerated nods from the people in the near vicinity around you. And she goes, "Ah, sweetie, well, you know, I just have one of those minds that I'm always thinking of new ideas, and these just came to me in a dream, if you would believe it. Frying mushrooms like lobster, but they're actually mushrooms that are lobster mushrooms, and bringing all the energy-giving things of the forest, of nature, not the forest, and combining them into one delightful handheld walk-around food. It just seemed to make sense to me."
Might I sample one?
Yes.
A sample. I bet if we've got a heavy
Sample.
wallet.
Yes.
But a sample would help me make up my mind.
Yes, it's.
Can
So
I
bad.
cast
Awesome,
detect magic before
You
Thargard
can. Wow, what thoughts? Yeah, you can cast detect magic.
Okay. Is there anything wrong with this? Is it a magical?
So throw up the text for detect magic, because I'm so bad at knowing what magic spells.
It says for the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in that area that bears magic. And you learn its school of magic, if any. And it can penetrate barriers, but it can be blocked by 1 foot of stone or metal or whatever.
Okay, so I'm going to say that it's going to roll against your spell DC, which we saw earlier is a 14. Okay, it fails. There is magic coming off of these 2 special foods, and it is trying to be blocked, but you know enough to get through, and you can detect it.
The people that were nodding could I detect anything wrong with them as well? Was there an aura floating off of them, or just the food?
I would say, yeah, the super faintest aura was coming off of them, and you see in their hands they're all holding one of the 2 foods.
Okay. So as Thargard is trying to eat that, Bernardi is much shorter, I'm assuming, than Thargard. So Bernardi like kind of grasps onto his leg and like smacks at the hoof.
I'm gonna give you a knowing wink, and then I'm gonna pretend to eat it, where I just crush it in the hoof, and then I'm gonna kind of spit as I fake eat and go, "It tastes like garbage." I'm gonna say it loud like that.
No, you must have had a bad one. Here, Auntie B will feed. Well, she'll get you a new
You
one.
taste it, you try, you prove.
She takes a bite and says, "Delicious." Here, and then she stands on top of the cart and tries to hand feed.
I'm all in. I swallow. How's it? What happens?
Okay, great.
Special guest.
Great. Roll save versus
Sorry, we're about to find out what it does.
give me intelligence saving throw.
All right, and I may need to take off my glasses to find my mouse cursor. 17.
Okay. Let me just double check something. Darn. Okay, fine. You save. Darn. Fine, you save. All right.
Ah!
I think during this whole kerfuffle, Bernardi had waddled away to try to find Vera in the crowd to let Vera know that something is up with the food.
Vera would have stayed within sight
Okay.
of them. You kind of know that they can just kind of disappear into a crowd. But while all of this is going on, they're gonna try to like kind of sneak around back a
Okay.
bit and
Okay.
see what's going on. What they really want is to get a look at their ingredients because they want to see if they're like the same thing or what's going on with them.
So it looks very similar to what you have for your special for your dishes. You don't notice anything. No, you do not notice anything off or weird or some sort of standout thing that it strikes you as wrong with a capital W. It all seems pretty straightforward and standard.
Do they have any locked chests around that look like they might hold secrets?
Let's roll a die. Roll a die. We'll say on a 1, you noticed a chest that seems conspicuous and weird. And on a 2, no, you don't. Nope, no, nothing stands out. No funky chests or anything. Let's jump back to the food cart. A handful of individuals approach, and they all are wearing the same like green and kind of brown robes. And one of them is holding a little sign that says they are the Zobeck Horticulture, Floriculture, and Arboriculture Society. And they're all wearing pins that say, "Ask me about plants." And you recognize one of them, Delphina, as Wellworth Rovington III, the well-known horticulturist within town who made a deal with Bernardi that he would visit last week if Bernardi would attend one of his meetings for this very society. And he walks over with a big, like, he's got a walking stick, and it's a very exaggerated walk as he approaches. And he's, "Hello there, hello, I am here." I do not remember any of the, every session I've come up with a different voice, and we're sticking to it. "Why, hello there, yes, hello, it is I, Wellworth Rovington III. I'm here to partake in your Kentucky Fried Chicken of the woods as made by the dwarven genius Bernardi. Where is he? Where is that fine fellow?" And he looks around for Bernardi.
Oh, glad you got that. The word out about the chicken has come to you, but unfortunately, Bernardi is on break at the moment. We have a lunch break. It's been busy today. So,
as you say that, another fancy-looking gentleman with a very large top hat kind of rolls his eyes and goes, "Another phantom genius from Mr. Throvington, I see." And a few other of them go around him, kind of like a guffaw in classic Toady fashion. And Wellworth looks a little hurt, insulted, like, now, Bartholomew, I assure you that this prodigy will no doubt be here soon and will serve you some mushrooms that will blow your silly top hat off. That top hat is absurd. Top hats have been out of fashion for quite some time. They're like the theater. They are no juggling, sir. Walking sticks are the juggling of fashion. And he waves his walking stick around. And they start getting into a heated argument about Zobeckian fashion and also entertainment. Juggling again. And at hearing the word juggling, Moo jumps in the middle and starts throwing his rock up in the air over again, and some people kind of take notice of that, but they're busy arguing.
If you wait right there, I'll bring out I'll have the chicken cooked up, and I'll bring it right out to you. Just give us a second on the house.
Sure.
And she will dash to where Bernardi is.
Okay. Bernardi? Yeah, okay. So Thargood has eaten the food, and you can feel definitely that there is some sort of magic enchantment on it that tried to get you. It tried to get you. But you resist. You are able to resist its enchantedness, and it doesn't affect you. However, both Auntie B and Florp, yes, the gnome, are looking at you expectantly. And Auntie B says, "Now, wasn't that just delicious?"
Ma'am, maybe my palate is not as sophisticated as the frequent tourists of Zobeck, where perhaps it just wasn't very good. And I mean no offense. I'm but a simple honeymooner. Here at shish kebabs. Why is it so weird tasting? I'm gonna just be flat out offended. And slowly this guy starts flipping away. I was like, "Cause there's something just not right about it."
I must
There's a horn slide up.
Her voice rises like that and then softens again, and she's like, I must respectfully disagree. I think maybe your palate just isn't sophisticated enough for something like this. I'm sure we could make you something simpler. We can fry up some cheese, I suppose, if that's more your speed. Fried cheese is a little simple. We try to make things a little bit fancier here. But,
now, don't need to insult me. I'm just a patron with an opinion. However,
absolutely the wrong opinion. I mean, the rest of these people all think that this is perfection, honest, wrapped in a.
Ma'am, an editorial cannot be incorrect. It's purely subjective.
I don't disagree, but everyone seems to have their own personal subjectiveness to it. And your past maybe doesn't vibe quite like the normal citizen of Zobeck does.
Bernardi's like, "Ma'am, please stop talking
Vera,
to my
do you have
husband."
the Epic? Toss it to me. I'm going to down it and just start barfing in front of
Oh, no.
I will wreck their business.
Our go-to move.
I lose the debate.
Yeah, the signature move of the Cheese Ballroom.
Try to get out of a bill at a restaurant. Sometimes it's the only way.
Okay, so you start vomiting.
Assuming I down the.
Actually, wait. Let's Vera, give me a sleight of hand check to toss it into his mouth.
What am I doing? Sorry.
Giving him the throw up poison, I think, was the plan.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm losing the debate, so what we might as well do is just swallow a bunch of Epic and I start barfing in front of their food cart, destroying their business for the day.
Sure.
And I'm like,
So, sleight of hand check to subtly place it.
Nice.
19. Okay, yeah. In one smooth motion, you're able to get the poison in your hands, like quickly handed it to you, put it in your mouth and cover your mouth before the vomit comes out, so it doesn't really seem obvious that you drank something, but rather you're just trying to stifle all the vomit that is now coming out of your mouth. And when you do that, she swipes her hand quickly and make another intelligence saving throw, DC 16.
all right. I would like to use my point of inspiration to get
You may.
advantage of the roll. Nat 20.
Okie dokie. Yeah, you feel as though aggressive magic is trying to force your mouth closed to stop you from vomiting further. This is attack magic. It's as if you've felt it before. You know what this is, but you're able to wrench your mouth. You're fighting your own mouth to open it so the vomit can spew forth. And it does, but she wipes her hand again and a bucket appears and comes up to your face and blocks the vomit from getting onto the food.
That's fair.
And says, "Sir, please, sir, you seem to be sick. You must have been poisoned by something else. Please move away." And a crowd starts to kind of like slowly nudge you backwards, and you're vomiting on them, but they don't seem to care. Yeah. Oh, it's getting past the bucket onto all these people, but they're slowly like non-aggressively nudging you back out of the way.
All right, I allow myself to be nudged out.
This poison, I think, is the best purchase I have ever made in a game
Great.
of D&D.
50 points. Yep. Okay. 5 gold each is what I said. 5 gold each.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. Great. So I think at that point, Delphina gets over to the rest of you. You see Bernardi standing. Bernardi has taken off his disguise, so now he is noticeable by you.
I think she does that thing where she just like she's not there, and then just 1 second, like she's like right in front.
Yes, I love it.
And she looks at Thargard's like, "We're not doing that again, are we?"
It's a long story.
So this will be Bernardi, that man, the one that seems interested in your plant work.
B. Fullington the Third.
Yes, it's a long name, but he's here, and he has a bunch of other, I think, people in his group, and this. You want that attention, right? That's good attention and not annoying attention, right?
I think so. I just kind of wanted their business, and they're some sort of honestly, this is bringing me back to when you were throwing up this rainbow, so I'll go take care of that.
Yeah.
There's magical ingredients over here. Vera is being Vera, trying to steal things maybe, and Thargard is still throwing up, and then Bernardi just waddles off.
Yeah,
to
it's a big break. What? Be good.
Yeah.
Tell the pixies they're good. Tell the pixies they did a great job. It's like, and then she'll start looking for Vera.
Vera's just watching, I think, still, or just
Vera's
enjoying
casually
their handiwork.
Yeah, casually being part of the crowd.
Delphine will appear next and is like, "What's happening now? What are we doing?"
Well, I think that old gnome woman is like doing some mind control stuff. Magicka's warrior and Bernardi thing, and Thule's thing than mine.
This doesn't seem like a place to do that kind of magic. This is a food cart.
Yeah, but the food is magic. Like there's magic in the food, and like
good magic or bad or good tastes good better magic, or bad as in what we did to the pies.
Different as in like you see the crowd pushing Thargard around. Like they all they're a little weird. They're not normal. And they all ate the food. I know because she said they did, and apparently it tasted delicious. Thargard disagrees. I'm not sure if that was actually because it tasted bad or just as a ploy. But anyways.
But that means they had to have something in the cart.
Yeah, I took a look around. The ingredients seem normal, but I don't know.
Maybe it's on, you know what? Maybe it's on the chef.
Maybe. That old woman is, I wonder.
Because if you don't want that secret to get out, and you don't want people to remember, you would keep it on your person and then use it when you need it to.
This is true. Yeah, just I don't know. She was doing some hand wavy stuff. She made a bucket appear, so she definitely does some magic. Yeah, she's weird. I'm wondering if she's the reason the loot didn't want to come over here.
I mean, if it's magic, that's probably a good point.
Yeah.
And if she's using magic on Thargard.
Maybe I can find and talk to the loot and see what's up.
Yeah, I would say you can hear Arthurio walking around talking about Forest Sushi still, singing about Forest Sushi. You don't have to make a check to find him. He's there. He's noticeable.
Take that back. I hear his dulcet tones.
Thargold, also for the record, it was fucking delicious. Can I curse? I don't know. I think so. So there we go.
I would have said the same thing, and I knew it was too. And it's one of those things I'd go back for seconds or thirds. But
yes.
Gotta tell a
Like
lot.
you were able to resist that magic, but at the same time, you really want to eat it again. Like you just want to eat it again because
It's all I want now. I'm gonna put
It's-
on like 50 pounds of fried fungi.
it's a lot of carbs. It's a lot of carbs, which we
It
all
is,
know.
and I
We
don't
need to-
exercise.
Moderation. Yeah. Okay, great. So you being nudged back out of the way. Bernardi, you there's a heated argument going on about a proposal for the plantation of a barberry fruit on the eastern side of Zobeck. They're saying barberries are impossible to grow close to water. Well, no, I had a concept where you could, using the soil from the western deserts, you could plant it's very heated.
And Bernardi just kind of casually walks in and is just like, if you just water the soil with a little bit of water found from the coast, just at 20% hydration, it'll grow. And then he just keeps walking to the cart to go check on the pixies.
Coastal hydration water, 20%. It's so obvious now, says Wellworth Revington. And the other one kind of puts on a pouty face and he goes, yes, I suppose that would be a good solution to the issues regarding lake water and the barberry fruit. I win this round, Throwington. But who was that? Who was that person there? Was that your man? Was that the prodigy you speak of? And Wellworth goes, yes, it was. Yes, yes, sir. That was Bernardi, the genius that I spoke of. Now, we're here for the Kentucky Fried Chicken of the Woods. 20 orders, please. And it's a big order, Bernardi. This is not, I think that old True could use some help putting this one together. So,
Right. So I think Bernardi, again, without really acknowledging this group behind him, is like, all right, boys, it's time to shine. I believe in all of you. And he druid crafts more flowers onto them and is ready to rock and roll this challenge.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Oh, he druid crafts a flower necklace that matches all of their flowers too.
Oh, they have lots of flowers. Do you do a special rock for?
No, actually, Boo gets a special
Oh.
flower on his rock.
Oh my! Moo no longer wants to juggle with the rock. He just wants to hold it close to his chest and hug it.
And I'm like, Moo, this is your time. Throw that flower rock up in the air. Must entertain.
For you, he says, and then he starts flying the rock into the air. Still just a pixie throwing a rock into the air. Nothing special going on here, but my goodness, that pixie can throw that rock. Okay, great. So make a cooking check with advantage, and I feel like I give you a +2 on top.
Is that dexterity or wisdom?
Cooking is wisdom.
Good. Ooh,
What did you roll?
that's a nat 20.
Oh my goodness. Everybody's rolling 20s today.
We are on a roll tonight.
On a
You-
cheese roll? Wait, what did cheese wheel? Never mind.
Cheese wheel, yes. No words can be. You make the most perfectly fried. You grab the perfect mushrooms. You suddenly have 20 of them, it feels like, in front of you that are just the absolute best mushrooms of the bunch. It's like you had set these aside at the beginning of the day and kept them for special VIPs. And you and True are like perfectly in sync in the kitchen. It's like a dance. It's like a ballet. You're just like, it's like, yeah, synchronized like a ballet. It's like that scene in the McDonald's movie, which is
McDonald's movie.
the Founder. There's a scene in that it's okay. It's okay movie. But there's a scene where it's like a ballet. It's like a choreographed ballet. It's so perfect between you getting the orders out and then taking the money and the food getting served quickly while it's still hot. And every single member has to sit down. It's so delicious. You see like a wave of, oh my goodness, as all their hands go to their heads. It's so perfect. And this is so like what this club loves and what this club wants to eat. And the rival guy, whose name is Bartholomew Brigington Esquire, he kind of like grits his teeth and he says, Rovington, you and I disagree on many matters, horticulture and otherwise. But for this, I concur. This dwarf is a genius. And then they all turn to you and say, you must attend one of our meetings and teach us your ways. It comes so naturally to you. We just want to hear you speak about anything. Talk about the weather. We don't care. We're just curious about how you do what you do so well.
And Bernardi would look up and look back at the Pixies and first off, congratulate the Pixies for a stellar performance.
Worth more than any gold they could get. That congratulations from you.
He looks back at the group and he's like, well, if I can bring these Pixies with me, I might show up to a brunch or so.
Please bring them. It's clear that they're part of your process, and it's clear that they're all very competent, especially that little fellow with the rock. Yes, bring them all, please. We'd be thrilled to have them here as well. It's they obviously know what they're doing behind the counter, which is also a very important part of any food making. So yes, 1,000 times yes.
Now, if you could spread the word about the amazing chicken of the woods across the land from the cheese ball carton.
From the cheese wheel and its sister store, the cheese ballroom. Yes.
That's the one.
We shall. And he reaches out and tries to shake your hand.
Bernardi just nods.
Of course. Your modesty is one of your most appealing aspects.
Corks's booth throws the rock at the hand sticking out at me.
Oh, thank you kindly, good sir. I will return this to you. Obviously, it is an important part of your personality, and no doubt will be going forward throughout the rest of the campaign. He says, "Yes, I would never take. This is like taking. I'm trying to think of the guitar, the taking a lute from a master lute player. I would never I would never attempt to do so. So please, thank you. I appreciate it, but do what you do so well." Great. Good job. Natural 20. Perfect natural 20. Let's go to Vera. You feel were you talking last with were you talking with Delphina last or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Delphina and I are kind of standing off to the side of the crowd, just like being wallflowers and trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
You feel a presence to your side kind of sidle up to you. And you turn and you see Bork the lizard person is standing next to you, the poison vendor. And he goes, I see that you used my goods to great effect yet again. And you see in the distance Thargold is still vomiting. Rainbow vomit everywhere.
He took that voluntarily?
To each his own, you know? I mean, it's it feels good to clear yourself of, sometimes you drink too much and then throwing up is good. Maybe
it'll start a fad. Cleanse thing.
Sure. Rainbow cleanse, we could call it.
Rainbow.
Yeah. I like the ring of that.
No, it's a mess.
Yeah. Well, I just came over to tell you something, maybe, depending on how much time we have left. Yep. All right. Sure. Let's talk about this thing. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to know, you seem pretty interested in my story with my cousin Cork, and I just kind of wanted to vent to somebody if you'd be willing to listen.
Vera finds a bag or a crate, pulls it up and sits down and
it magically appears.
Yeah. Sure, go on.
Well, it's a tale as old as time, I suppose. 2 lizard people, 2 lizard men, 1 lizard woman, both vying for her affections. My dear Reptuliet. Yes, both Cork and I, young, strapping individuals within our community, had caught the eye of any lizard woman that was interested, but for both of us, there was only one who we were into, and he gives a far-off look in his eyes. And that nearly ruined our entire community. Our families broken into parts. Reptuliet herself from another family within the lizard people community. it was just hard times. Nearly came to a duel to the death with old Cork, but wiser heads intervened, and we were both outcast. But I believe I've heard rumors that Reptuliet is now in Zobeck. I don't know. Maybe if I were to approach her, if Cork were to approach her, there would be drama to an extent unknown. For lizard people are very dramatic people, as you may know. But if someone else maybe were to approach her and let her know that the two of us were in Zobeck, I don't know. Maybe something may come of it. Maybe something won't. But not knowing, I think, is worse than knowing. Maybe you can understand.
I cannot, but I will empathize nonetheless. And I will keep an eye out for this Reptuliet of yours. But, we're friends now, I'd say. Business acquaintances.
Friends would be nice. But definitely the business acquaintance. We could be friends, definitely.
Perfect. I will keep an eye out for this Reptuliet and let you know how that goes. In return, I need some information.
Yes, I deal in information as well as poisons. The two go hand in hand.
This is very true. That gnome lady who runs that fry cart with her husband. Do you know anything about her? Magic things or reputation?
To be quite honest, I do know of We Fry You Buy, the card. It's quite well known, in fact. But I have never seen that gnome lady before. It's always just been Florb. Yeah, I've never seen her before. Is she new or?
He said she's his wife.
Florb is a well-known gnomish bachelor. That is Florb settling down. Well, that's outlandish to hear. I would say Florb would probably not have a wife. I've never heard of her before, and as I said, I deal in information, so I would if she was married to him, and I would have been at the wedding.
Very true. Well, she goes by Auntie B. If you hear anything else, you could let me know. I think she's doing some weird mind control shenanigans.
Weird mind control shenanigans. That sounds bad.
Yes. Well, we're going to try to sort it out evidently, but yeah. Also, hear anything about that lute player or the lute?
Oh, Arthorio, he's an up-and-coming lute player. Everybody seems to like him.
Yeah, his
Really?
lute is possessed.
Lute is possessed, you say?
Or sentient, cursed. I don't know. It talks in your head. It's very odd.
Fascinating.
Yes. Well, I wish you the best of luck, but I have some business, like a mind-controlling gnome lady, apparently.
When I have business myself, spreading rumors about sentient loot. Good day! And he dashes off. Oh, did you want to say something too?
No. Like she's like
just watching this whole thing.
I didn't think it was a rumor. It seemed pretty obvious what that loot was. So what about? Oh, that seems real suspicious.
I think the lute knows something. We can try talking to it before we, I don't know, knock out the old gnome lady.
Knock out, or maybe she has something on her, something that would.
If we knock her out, we can search her person.
That is true.
That's Vera logic, definitely.
Well, all right. He shouldn't be too hard to find. Like I think I can hear him all over.
In fact,
about forest
you
sushi.
see, he has gone up to Thargold and is now singing about rainbow vomit because
not again.
Why are there so many vomits of rain?
somewhere over the rainbow vomit. Something.
That one's not going to take.
Yes.
I don't think that one's going to catch on.
That is not.
The lyrics need some work, but I think the tune is there. I think it may catch on. La, 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 la. I
We
guess you're
sing
still
the
vomiting.
words, not the notes.
I don't. I think the vomit is still. It's still going.
So I think you can help us with something that will help you as well.
You can save against vomiting. I'll say Grant at this point if you want. I'll give you advantage too because
I choose to fail.
Okay.
No, let me. What do I roll? What can I check?
What's survival?
Constitution,
Wisdom?
I have
Yeah. Oh yeah,
+5.
Constitution. Definitely.
Oh.
Definitely.
21.
All right, you're able to quench the vomiting.
Clean out.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Throat's real raw now.
definitely like people have come to this is the Crown Square, so there have been like you can see government like janitorial people come out and are quickly cleaning it with magic, a combination of magic and brushes and things like that. So the vomit is gone. But Arturio is like, and it stops. The faucet has been closed.
The valve has been shut.
The valve has been shut.
My insides are now my outsides.
Oh my goodness, maybe I should hire you, sir, as a lyricist. You seem to have the touch.
I've been known to dabble in a melody or two.
Oh ho! Great. All right.
That's all I got. I mean,
You have a card.
well, actually, you can follow me on Bandcamp. It's a new service here in Midgard.
Oh, Camp of Bens. Yes.
Yes.
I tried to go there. They turned me away. Rejection is something authority was familiar with.
That hits a little close, but I understand the feeling.
Have to have a good outlook on life or you'll never make it anywhere. It's part of the game. Rejection.
Of all the characters of this campaign, you're my favorite non-player one, Arturio.
Thank you. There have been
That's a
several
bit
that are
meta.
more outlandish than the last.
With that, I depart quickly before.
He's following you. Cool. So
Okay.
everybody else can also hear and see Midgard, who stands out from the crowd, being a big tall Minotaur with fun antlers. So he's following you.
Well,
I guess I'll strut.
Ooh. He works strutting into the lyrics. He kind of just sings about what he sees
Oh,
around
by the
him.
way that I use my walk, I'm a Minotaur. No time to talk.
Oh, genius. Okay. And everybody else can catch up now to him.
Vera just kind of looks at Thargar and is like, do you want some water or something? Not many people take that voluntarily.
Are they scotch?
Pats down their pockets, pulls out a flask.
Yeah.
Unscrews it, looks into it. No, wait, not that one. Puts it back and finds an inside pocket. Unscrews it and is like, yeah, there. Take as much as you want. I've got more at home.
I'll avoid the obvious offer it to Arturio. He sings better when he's drunk, and then I'll just down it.
Well, thank you. Much better.
You're welcome. Oh,
How much do I owe you?
And the Minotaur drank the scotch in one gigantic gulp.
you don't. It's fine. Yeah, I'm still.
He looks at you. He sees you looking at him. The ranger has many
Vera
pockets.
reaches out to touch the loot.
Sure. You feel the loot recognizes that it's being touched, and a voice says in your head, "Hello, how can I help you?"
I was hoping for some information. It's about something you said earlier. You didn't want to go over to that fry part that we shall not name.
No.
Would that be because of the old woman and her mind control magic?
Old woman? You mean old hag? That is not just any woman. That is a night hag who is clearly charmed that no man and is now trying to mind control poison the entire city of Zobeck. But I'm sure you knew that already.
Well, you certainly cleared a few things up for me. That definitely makes sense. I wouldn't want to go near her now either, now that I come to think of it.
This is broadcast in all of your minds too, not just Vera's.
That seems bigger problem than food cart competition at this point.
Yeah. Well, the middle of the Crown Square does not seem like the place to
No.
start a fight with a hag. Also,
Certainly not. It's this animosity is not his fault, so yeah, maybe not making it public that the food is a vector for mind control.
Yeah, but how do we lure the hag away out of the city?
What do they want? She wants something.
Yeah, we could try asking nicely, but that hasn't worked very well in our past endeavors.
Well, maybe if we act charmed and go with her. Usually won't have a pliant victim, and then we'll go. She won't think anything of it. We go to the forest, and
Oh, I do like the forest. I do know the forest quite well. Didn't know there was a hag living in it. I'm going to have to up my security.
I sure don't want anything like that happening.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan, though.
So can we eat the thing? We become charmed.
I don't want to actually become charmed.
No, we pretend to eat it. We're very good.
You're very good at pretending to eat things. I'm not very sneaky like that.
Okay.
But I can. She'll show you like a little bit of like a trick for like where you eat and just kind of like throw it behind you and stuff.
Yeah. So
like
both of you, there's so much going on. There's so many people in the area that you can both buy it and pretend to eat it and do it in a way that if she glances in your direction, it looks like you ate it. Does anyone else want to?
I was gonna say, are we all going together? That seems ideal.
Thargard is banned from the area. Thargard is not allowed to come over.
Yeah,
so
I'll get Bernardi and tell him.
Yeah, the day is kind of winding down as well. So the pixies feel confident enough that they can take over the rest of the duties for the evening and closing down and collecting all the money and things like that.
So yeah, like Delphina would come grab Bernardi and catch him up on everything.
Yeah. So we have big problems. Yeah.
And Bernardi's just like, just look at him. And he just looks back at the cart, just like a proud parent of these pixies. And then turns back to Delphina. Okay, big problems. What's going on? And then
so
caught up.
That gnome woman, that is a hag, not an old.
I could have told you that.
I appreciate the wordplay, but actually scary and dangerous.
Oh,
magic using, usually like forest dwelling.
Yes,
I think she's trying to lure people out. So how good are you at looking adoring, but yet slightly enchanted?
I learned something from Thargard, and he brings out his sunglasses.
Great.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna have to pretend to eat some food, and then we'll go wherever she wants, and then we'll deal with that because we don't want that poor gnome to. So, I mean, while he's been kind of rude to us, it's not his fault. He has also been enchanted.
So Bernardi just waddles over, sees Vera. Let's do this.
Vera has also informed Thargard of what is going on and given him a pretty detailed map, actually, knowing both the city and the forest as her favorite terrains. A very good description of how to get out of the city without necessarily being noticed, as well as likely-ish, maybe, spots where they would enter the forest. So.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna you all pretend to eat the food. Nothing particularly eventful happens over the next hour or so. It gets later. The carts start to close down, and you're able to. Are you following the cart, or are you just like going to the forest later on? What are your thoughts?
I think the three of us are following the flow of the charmed crowd. Whatever they do, we're kind of doing.
Yes.
However, if the cart starts to leave without these charmed people following, Vera will try to vaguely follow the cart.
Sure. So the crowd does disperse a little bit, as though they've been told to disperse until a certain point. Like, you are all keeping such a keen eye on all of these people that you can kind of tell from their actions that they're doing this because something is telling them to do this, and like they all go opposite directions at the same time and just stand still and don't really know anything. Then the food cart kind of goes off, and if one or two you stay there, the crowd kind of comes back together and forms a line and is walking in a specific direction following the food cart. So yeah, I'm gonna say you start to get to the outskirts of the city, and it does become a little bit more you can also, you don't even have to roll stealth. You can blend in with the crowd of people as they kind of traipse out of the city. Definitely everyone is almost zombie-like at this point. They definitely are mind controlled, and it's quite creepy. They take you, Vera, you know the forest very well. They take you kind of in a zigzagging, winding path to a spot that maybe you're not as familiar with. It is a big forest. You do know it well, but it's an area you don't stay out of because maybe nothing good grows there, or maybe you know it's like a particularly dangerous area. And they do take you to like a little gross hut made of different, like it's in a like fetid swamp kind of area. It's made haphazardly together, and you can see bones are strewn about around the hut itself.
What is the hut made of?
Like a mossy green kind of, it's kind of put together with moss and sticks, and definitely all plant-based kind of hut.
Vera is going to light a torch and throw it at the hut.
Okie dokie. Yeah, all the people are just kind of waiting outside in line, including Florb the gnome. And sure, so this is important. Give me an athletics check to throw that.
I am not good at athletics, but
or someone else can do that too. It's a great idea.
Yeah, so Vera lights the torch and sees Thargard and is like, I say we burn the house down.
All right. Do you want me to run it in like an Olympic runner, or give it a good chuck? I'll give it a good
I
chuck.
say we give it a good chuck, and then we have some distance when that guy likely slings a spell at us.
With a +8, I got a 12.
Okay.
Do you have inspiration?
I used it earlier on my jokes.
If you give me a cow pun real fast, Grant, maybe you'll get inspiration again.
All right.
I think
Give
can
it
give
a
someone
good
else your
chuck was
inspiration.
not a good beef cow pun.
I can do
Give
it.
it. Oh,
I can do it.
okay.
Ah.
I didn't even realize it. That was a great cow pun, and is in fact one of my favorite cuts of beef. So 100% you get inspiration. I think you can give people your inspiration in the rules. I don't know. There's so many.
Oh yeah, I was about to say the stakes are high. Before it's
All right. It's happening.
All right.
It's happening.
It should be even worse. I'm okay. 23.
23. Okay. It is.
He gets another shot.
Yeah, it is like Olympic. Is back with the Olympic theme. You are the Olympic discus gold medalist. Lands right on a patch of kind of kindly type sticks that are maybe holding up one section, and poof, burst into flames. And you hear a screeching scream coming from inside the hut, and out dashes a slightly, or I would say very scorched looking, it is no longer a kind of matronly gnome. It is a woman with dark green skin and long kind of snaky kind of black hair, and she looks just like wet and slimy and gross. And she runs out and sees you and runs right for you. Roll initiative. She looks very hurt, but she looks very
This is
unhappy.
gonna be fun.
So everybody roll initiative.
13.
17 for Vera, 13 for Thargood, 15 for Bernardi, and 7 for Delphina. Okay, that means that Vera goes first.
All right. So 2 seconds. I just need to see how this works. Oops. I clicked the wrong button.
All right.
Yeah, let's. No, I'm just going to take 2 shots with my longbow.
Okie dokie.
because yeah, why not? So a
Mm.
12 on the first one
12 is going to be a miss.
and a 17 on the second
A
one.
17 is indeed a hit.
Excellent. 9 piercing damage.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, she already looks to be kind of crispy, we'll say. So your longbow fits her right in the shoulder, and she lets out another screech as she gets hit by the arrow. Next up is Bernardi.
So there are other people around, right?
Yeah, they're just kind of standing still though, with like a glaze over their eyes. They're not really doing anything. They were standing far enough away from the hut that they're not taking that they're not in danger of getting fired or anything like that.
Can Bernardi try to like at least get them away from the fight? So
Oh
that
yeah,
there's no
absolutely.
casualty?
Yeah, I would say you can do that. Yeah. Oh well, there's still. So why don't you make a persuasion, or I'll even allow Arcana to kind of get through to them, because they're kind of, like I said, in this glaze. They are suggestible, but at the same time, there is a little bit of that magic holding them in place.
Okay, let's see.
13. Okay, so I'll say you get about half of the group of people to follow you. They kind of just like amble after you.
Waddle.
Yeah, they waddle. They follow. They walk exactly like you walk as you lead them away. Cool. Next, did you want to do anything else in your turn?
No, I think that's what Bernardi would try to do, rather not fight.
What a good dude. All right, Thargard, it is your turn.
All right, time to go all in. First things first, I'm gonna try to get my net around her.
Oh, all right.
I got
13
a
is going to
13.
miss. No net
All
for
right.
you.
That doesn't matter. Second attack, I draw the greatsword after losing my net, and then I swing at her with a 27.
You hit. Do you have a 19 as a... Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah, it is a
Is that a
19
crit?
hit, so it's going to double damage.
It's a crit? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. Well, there goes my hag.
A champion fighter. Yeah, and then I'm going to action surge and take 2 more swings.
You don't need to. You do not need to. You do not need to. With a mighty swing of his greatsword, Thargord, the guest Minotaur, chops off the hag's head, and it goes flying off in the distance. And the head goes, "Ee!" It's like a home run. You hit her so it's just like twinkles in the sky. You hit so hard. And yeah, her body flops over, and everybody kind of snaps out of it as she's killed. Yeah, so take that, hag. Done. And you see everyone, what happened? Where am I? What's going on? And Florb goes, what am I doing in the woods? What is going on?
Listen, let's get back to the city, and then everything will be explained.
Okay, I will wait patiently. And that's what happens. You get back to the city and you explain everything. You hit it on the head. He had nothing to do with this. He remembers being out in an inn and having a drink with a beautiful gnome woman, and then he woke up here. Like, he does not remember anything from the past few days. And he thanks you profusely, and he says, oh, if you need any advice on frying things, that's what I do, and I would love to help out at the Cheese Ballroom. Cleef and Raymundina are blown away by the success of the food cart. They are going to hire new staff to man it. That way you all can stay in the restaurant. They heard from the horticulture, like they got a nice, beautiful letter from the Horticultural Society about how delicious things were. It was in like a very fancy calligraphy, and they're super impressed. They make both forest sushi and Kentucky Fried Chicken of the Woods mushroom a permanent item on the menu, no matter what restaurant name we have in the future or however we rebrand it. If that possibly happens, these two are going to be synonymous with this restaurant. And you are paid your full rate with a bonus, Thargard the Minotaur. And that's going to do it for today's session of Order Up. Yay, golf claps. Yay. Thank you, everyone. That was super fun. I had a great time. I really enjoyed playing this. Shout out to Fantastic Lairs for the anti-bee foe. If you would like to pick that up, it's from the Sticky Toffee Lair. I borrowed a lot from that, so thanks to James Intricasso, Mike Shea, aka Sly Flourish, and Scott Fitzgerald. Fantastic Layers coming soon to an audiobook near you, narrated by Rudy Basso. Hey, you can find me online at Rudy Basso. Oh, see below me? That's my Twitter. I work on a lot of podcasts. I produce one called Dames and Dragons. It's a 5e actual play. Also today, a new episode of Beholder came out, which is a podcast filled with interviews and audio essays that focuses and puts a spotlight on the femme gamers in the tabletop community. So please check that out. I think it's a great podcast. I'm so proud to be able to help out Lisa Penrose, who puts so much of her heart and energy into it. Check it out. It's all about horror today, which is great. We had a little horror ourselves today. Let's go around. Everybody tell me where you are online and what you are working on. Let's start with Danny.
What's up, y'all? My name is Danny. You can find me all over the internet at Danny Plays Games. I am doing a lot of short form content for board gaming, and you can also find me Friday night at Nomadic's channel, where we are playing a Starfinder campaign as Space Bears. So there's nothing better than Space Bears. So catch us there on Friday nights.
Oh man, I hope you find some space honey.
I hope so. I had space lettuce last time.
Space lettuce. Very nice. Great. Let's go to Autumn. Where can people find you online? What are you working on?
Hi there. I am Autumn Graves. You can find me at Autumn V Graves on the Twitters, which has links to everything and everywhere else that I am for the most part. I am kind of on a break right now while I'm in school, but you can find me here on Mondays. You can hear me soon, coming soon, hopefully. Season 2 of Chords of Fate by Mage Productions. Be hanging out playing that. I sometimes write sad games. And other than that, I write about food at foodabsolutely.com. So if you want some, I don't know, maybe fantasy-themed food content coming up in the future. That is something I promised some of my players very long ago. So it'll hopefully be coming up in the next month.
Very cool. Lynn, where can people find you online? What are you up to right now?
Hey, I'm Lynn, Flying Cirrus on Twitter, Twitch, pretty much every place else. Have my art and the games I play throughout the week, and I've been actually spending more time streaming on my own channel, Flying Cirrus, where I am doing art, games, and chill model building some days.
You building some Gundams over there?
Yes.
Is there a Gundam happening?
Yes, it is. I am building, appropriate enough, the Death Scythe, which is the vampire one. So,
very appropriate. Gundams. I just love them. I want to collect all them Gundams. And thank you so much to our special guest jumping in last minute. So pumped to always play with you, Grant, my friend. What are you up to? Where can people find you online?
Hi, everyone. My name is Grant Ellis. You can find me on Twitter at WisePapaGrant. I will be hosting a new platform called The Wonderful World of RPGs, where I'm promoting artists, designers, and role players around the industry in some pretty cool games where it's essentially my love letter to the art of actual play. You may catch some familiar faces on that. But hey, honestly, it was just a great opportunity to play with people I admire and respect, prolific designers like Autumn Graves, phenomenal artists like Lynn, Flying Sirius, and sources of positivity and excellent board game reviews, and Danny Plays Games. So like this is like in producers such as Little Red Dot. And Rudy and I go back. Rudy is I called him a legend in RPGs earlier on Twitter this week, which he's humble, but he's been doing this a long time. So anytime I get an opportunity to play with such a phenomenal group, it's fun. So you can find me on Twitter. I'm always around. But do check out and support these artists because they're phenomenal.
Thank you so much, Grant. You lift up my day every day. Great Twitter follow, Grant Ellis. We also have some Kobold news. The Vault of Magic campaign on Kickstarter ends on Wednesday. Check it out if you have not already. I have a magical item in it. I was a guest magical item maker. I made a cloak. I think the name has been changed. I called it the Cape of Encouraged Friendly Fire that wants everyone to shoot at it. It whispers to your brain, shoot me, every now and then. There's reasons for that, mechanical reasons. I know Victoria also has a magical item in there, so be sure to check it out. Lots of really cool guest designers, and of course, a huge book full of magic items, magic spells, magic. In addition, this Saturday, Kobold Press turns 15 years old, which is a huge achievement in this industry, let me tell you. I think Kobold Press is one of the best third-party publishers out there. They make incredible content. The Creature Codex might as well be the second Monster Manual, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's truly fantastic, and not just the Creature Codex. A ton of the other books they have are just Tome of Beasts, filled with creatures. So this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time, there will be kazoos, there will be special guests, there will be short one-shots. It's just going to be a grand old party. So please come by twitch.tv/koboldpress, where you are right now, and enjoy the festivities. I think that is going to do it. Thank you so much to our producer, Dot, for keeping us all together and getting us all produced. We'll be back next week with a brand new adventure and a new time period on Order Up. Thank you, everybody else. Have a good week. Bye.